I am really happy to be with you all. I know that there's a lot of questions out there. In the times that we're in right now, our last free call was before the elections, and now here we are after the elections. And so here we have somebody, we have Delilah coming in from LA, and so you guys, hi, I'm Dr. Alison J Kay. This is our monthly free call we do on the last Thursday of every month, and welcome to the newbies. It's good to have you here in the community. We're going to do clearings and activations. You can raise your hand to work with me one-on-one and receive facilitation by pressing *2. And then if you're on the webcast, you can go ahead and submit your questions in that box on the bottom left there, and I can facilitate you that way too. So here's the first one from Delilah out of LA. Hello, and just by the way, you guys hang in there because there's some new stuff coming that I want to announce at the end. There's a lot of new programs that are in the works to make 2017 a completely different year for us all. And Delilah's starting us out unplanned, and it's exactly what I'm talking about when I talk about the upgrade and new programs so that we can all expand more in 2017. She says, hello, Alison, happy holidays. Would you please help me to manifest multiple streams of income? How many of you out there are on the call for that? Currently seeking to obtain an RN case manager work from home office position. Also want to create online courses for medical professionals to obtain continuing education credits to renew their medical licenses and update current knowledge in the area of interest in writing health and wellness articles. Future goals include obtaining my MSN in nursing and teaching online nursing courses, public speaking, and blogging. Would also like to know if I should pursue taking higher levels of Reiki for a future practice too. I've taken level 1 and 2. My prayer is to come to your studio with my sister friend in 2017 to train with you in energy healing and nutrition. My SF has been doing Bikram yoga for years and is studying to be a nutritional coach. Reiki, love, and hugs. Prefer to use D on air, a name of endearment. Okay, D. So she's asking for multiple streams of income. And again, I know a ton of you out here on the call and who are going to be listening to the replay are also interested in the same multiple streams of income. So I'm going to just take a moment and tone Om, and I'm going to open up the lines and let you guys tone with me. Inhaling. All right, beautiful. So with that alignment, the Om tone corresponds to the crown chakra, as those of you who are on the call from my regular yoga meditation class know, and that is to increase your connection to Source. Increasing our connection to Source, as I just said on an interview I did right before this call, is where all abundance flows from. So when we look out at, and this is for those of you who are locked in the lack paradigm still, and feeling or thinking that there's not enough, if you look at all of the vegetation and you see how the trees grow and you look at how the plants grow, none of them are growing down. There's one species on the planet that does that. All of them reach up and out. And we deal with floods, we deal with snowstorms, we deal with trimming back the grass, trimming back the weeds. Yeah, the nature of life is to grow and to expand. There is abundance, and we are a part of the collective backdrop of all life. So when we come out of our thinking mind that's conditioned by societal beliefs and parental beliefs and also some traumas in past life, and we align with the Om and with Source into the crown chakra, we align with that flood, not just flow. Nowadays, what wants to come through is a flood of support for the abundance and for the creativity that's going to help create the revenue streams. that's going to help bring the ideas across our intuition for the revenue stream. So as I go about the coaching I'm giving right now, my coaching is quite a bit different, as my folks who are used to and have worked with me before, and that it's not intellectual. I'm not trying to answer you from my mind to your mind. I spent 10 years in Asia studying subtle energy. I've been meditating myself for 25 years and teaching it for 24 years. My yoga teacher certifications in India. I've been an energy medicine practitioner for 20 plus years with clients around the world with really outrageously abnormal successful outcomes. I also am a Qigong teacher and practitioner, and I have a PhD as a holistic life coach. So all of that combines, including my focus on fitness nutrition and longevity nutrition and tonic herbalism from the Taoist and Ayurvedic traditions, thriving in the mind, body, and spirit. I started asking questions back as a freshman in college about why do human beings choose what they do and how do we become the happiest we possibly can be as a psych major, and left that after 3 semesters because it just didn't answer that question, and I've been looking ever since. So who is in front of you today is somebody who has been asking that question for decades and having a natural connection to source. I grew up going out in the woods every day after school with my older brother and always felt this connection with all of life. And my mom told me a story about when I was 6, around 6, we went out for bike rides on Sundays to the ice cream stand, and when I got my ice cream, I'd lick it and love it and offer it to everybody around me because it was so good. I wanted to share the goodness. So there's an innate way that is my own magical being that is able to connect with source and hold this connection to source, and you're getting the vibrational upgrade from that. Even though I'm talking and even though I'm not doing active clearings, you're actually still getting cleared. There's a couple of different ways. One of them is entrainment, and another one is as I talk about the topics, like the money flows and abundance, I'm activating that in your unconsciousness while clearing out the other conscious conditioning that makes you believe otherwise. And so I'm realigning you to the activation of abundance, or to the activation of creativity, to the activation of you're able to create whatever you want in your life. So D, with all your desires and all your excitement over all that you want to do, that's a really good way to read your intuitive guidance. I think that a lot of what I've seen for the conditioning in people in the spiritual and metaphysical communities in particular is the expectation that intuitive guidance is going to come through the third eye, and it's going to be some kind of way cool experience. It's more mundane. We're geared to live in our bodies on planet Earth, chopping wood and drinking water and cooking over the fire and cleaning up after we cook. So it comes in through whatever makes us enthusiastic, right? So if we're excited over the blogging or the writing health and wellness articles or crafts, a particular kind of craft, and we see our genius coming through that just captures an essence of ourselves through the creation, an essence of our genius, something that we've always been turned on to. And a lot of the time, it's what we knew about ourselves in childhood and may have shut off after school and conditioning and degrees and jobs, and maybe something we've continued as a hobby, but that's actually our natural talent and our innate genius. It was interesting when I lived in Asia, what that did for my understanding of karma and past lives. I lived amongst the traditional Chinese in Taiwan, and they live with a very strong connection to the ancient teachings. It's everywhere. I mean, you could be getting on the subway, and there's this plaque with some wise statement from the ancient Chinese Taoist wisdom. I mean, it annoys the local Chinese because of all, Confucius's wisdom, and it's just everywhere. So they have this strong, and even their letters, their characters that they use for their words, it's all idiomatic to ancient wisdom to then pull out a modern meaning, and that also drives my friends in Taiwan crazy too at times. So it's an entirely different existence, and why I'm saying this is that living over there gave me a sense of longitudinal perspective that we don't have living particularly in America. We get it in Europe because there's still some of that connection, but we don't get it in North America as colonies. And so that perspective, plus that the question of reincarnation isn't even a question over there. I mean, karma is something that's just the backdrop to living over there. And so one of the things that I learned was past lives happen to not be so veiled over. So when we come in as, or you have your own kids and you look at their most intense passions that they are interested in, and if they have really strong talents, right from the get-go, that's usually an indicator that this is what they did in the most recent past life and possibly in many past lives, or likely in many past lives. There's been studies done too that are really cool that you could look into that are showing faces of somebody who, when they were in a past life regression, gave data that allowed the person to go back doing the past life regression, or their staff, and trace the factual data. Like, I lived in Ireland at this pub, my family owned it, it was in the year 1842, for example, in the regression, and when they check the information, it all checks out, and then they could even sometimes have gotten pictures of this person in the past life, and when they've compared them side by side, the symmetry in the facial features is just undeniable. It's really, really profound. So ignoring the childhood interests and talents and dismissing them as if you don't have time for them or that's not relevant, it's what you did as a kid, is actually closing down access to your own innate genius. So whatever made you really excited as a kid and that you really love to do, you might, if you're questioning, what is my purpose? Why am I here? What can I do even to bring in a new revenue stream, as you're asking, Dee? This is one way that really can hone in on your purpose here quite quickly. So what can I do to help you manifest multiple streams of income? So start with where it seems like I'm being guided, is start with what makes you the most enthusiastic, Dee, and then start asking questions like, what would it take for me to make money from this passion? The universe works in questions, and I have seen, like, even when I'm in sessions, my first client today, for example, has a physical situation that I've been helping her with for over a year now, and we're at a turning point with the healing of it, and she's been able to hold her own for months now. And I asked, you know, as I'm in the session silently, and we're getting updated because I haven't seen her for 2 weeks, I asked silently, what will it take to heal this? And I got new information. In what I found myself focusing on was how much she was not resting, and that she needed deep sleep and to kind of go into the womb as if she's in the chrysalis before she becomes a butterfly in order to heal this. All it takes is asking a simple question and then listening to the first response, or looking at what you're paying attention to, because the guidance that comes in, as I've already said, it's that way, what you're interested in and where your enthusiasm is, but it's also, again, very mundane, and it'll come in like a phrase or a sentence, and you might not even consciously hear it, but you might find yourself doing something or looking at something or focusing on something, and you don't really know how you ended up focusing on it. That's another way that the guidance comes in. So if you just continue to ask questions, it opens more doors. If you think of like bacteria, it's asking, how do I survive? How do I survive? If you think of the bugs and pests on plants, they're asking, how do I survive around this Roundup? And if you think about the viruses and the bacteria with the antibiotics, they're asking, how do I get stronger than this antibiotic? How do I survive? All of life and consciousness exists as a question, and it grows from questions. So the more that we think we know, the more that we sit with a mind, and the mind is the exact opposite, hey? It loves to conclude. So you might want to also, Dee, remain open. You have a list here of things that you're interested in and you're excited about. My sense is like 3 of them, 2 to 3 of them on this list that you could get started with right away. And a couple of them, let them drop off for now, because it's not going to, I don't know how immediate you need your income, but it's not going to produce the income right away. Two of them of the 5 seem longer term. There's ones that you can get started on right away based on where your enthusiasm most is. So hold on. D, I'm doing a clearing on your second chakra, apparently, which is your right to feel the way you feel. So there's some pattern of self-denial that we want to clear that can lead to self-sabotage showing up like procrastination. It's not necessarily worthiness and being able to go after what you want. It's almost like you'll get excited over something new for yourself and then you'll deny it. So I know so many of you do that. So let me go ahead and go on up into Theta. I'm going to use Thetahealing created by Vienna Steibel. I was trained at both the beginner and advanced level. We're not trained to do it out loud. I do it out loud anyway because of the training I have with meditation and how I understand the mind. It appreciates hearing what's getting cleared. And then you actually know what to look for later, too, as you have new thoughts come in from the space created now by these clearings. It helps the results happen quicker. So you want to make sure if you're listening, you're not driving or you're not doing anything that needs your attention or your focus, because it's likely you're going to get spacey. It's likely you're going to have your head kicked back. You might even fall asleep. All of those are reactions when I hit your unconsciousness. It's the way the conscious mind has to check out in order to allow the unconscious and the subconscious to get cleared. Give me just a moment, please. I'm going to go ahead and go on up into Theta. Some of you might want to have, if this is your issue that I'm talking about, you might want to have your hands on the front of your lower abdomen, 1.5 inches beneath your navel, and then the other palm up on the sacrum. Good. Creator, it is commanded, please, you pull the belief at all the levels, resolving it at all the listeners, both now and in the future's past life history level. I don't have the right to feel the way I feel. Yes. Replacing it with I have the right to feel the way I feel. Yes. Show me. Creator, it is commanded you download the feeling of having the right to feel the way they feel. Creator, it is commanded you download the knowing how to go about each of their day-to-day lives having the right to feel the way they feel. Show me. Creator, it is commanded you download the Creator's perspective, definition, and understanding of having the right to feel the way one feels. As a child of this universe in a human body on planet Earth right now, their highest and best with grace and show me. Creator, it is commanded you clear any and all free-floating thoughts and trauma, cut all the cords of conditioning from the trance of the masses, clear all imprints around denying oneself what one desires. Show me. Big chunk just left. I'm going to stop the clearing there because that's moving so much energy. And if you hear that, the right to feel the way you feel, if you're feeling frustrated or shut down, with the current job and the way you're earning income. Sometimes the way it shows up when we're denying ourselves the right to feel the way we feel is we'll question and make ourselves bad and wrong for like being annoyed with our work or being annoyed with our job. And we'll stay locked in that annoyance instead of considering that more is possible. We want to allow ourselves to consider more is possible. So I'm going to actually go back up, not that I've left Theta, do another clearing around possibilities and download that and activate that in your fields. Creator, it is commanded you pull the belief at all the levels, resolving it at their past life history level. I don't have much choice. Yes. Replacing it with, I don't have much choice. No. Show me. Creator, it is commanded you clear any and all free-floating thoughts and trauma. Cut the cords of conditioning from the trance of the masses. Clear all imprints around not having much choice or any choice. Being restricted and limited in what's available. Show me. Creator, it is commanded you pull the belief at all the levels, resolving it at their past life history level. There's lots of other possibilities. No. Replacing it with there's lots of other possibilities. Yes. Show me. Creator, it is commanded you download the feeling of there being lots of other possibilities. Their highest and best. Show me. Creator, it is commanded you download the knowing how to go about each of their day-to-day lives with lots of other possibilities. Show me. Creator, it is commanded you download the Creator's perspective, definition, and understanding of lots of possibilities and lots of other possibilities. As a child of this universe, in a human body on planet Earth right now, their highest and best with grace and ease. Show me. Okay. Creator is commanded. You pull the belief at all the levels, resolving it at their past life history level. I have the right to go for what I really want. No. Replacing it with I have the right to go for what I really want. Yes. Show me. Creator, it is commanded you download the feeling of having the right to go for what they really want. Show me. Creator, it is commanded you download the knowing how to go about each of their day-to-day lives, having the right to go for what they really want. Show me. Creator, it is commanded you download the Creator's perspective, definition, and understanding of having the right to go for what they really want. As a child of this universe in a human body on planet Earth right now, their highest and best with grace and ease. Show me. Creator, it is commanded you pull the belief at all the levels, resolving it at their past life history level. I'm meant to go for what I really want. No. Replacing it with I'm meant to go for what I really want. Yes. Show me. Creator, it is commanded you download the feeling of being meant to go for what they really want. Show me. Creator, it is commanded you download the knowing how to go about each of their day-to-day lives, being meant to go for what they really want. Show me. Creator, it is commanded you download the Creator's perspective, definition, and understanding of being meant to go for what they really want. The child of this universe, in a human body, on planet Earth, right now, their highest and best with grace and ease. Show me. Okay. That feels good for now. So I'm going to go ahead, and there's a woman out there named Carla. It looks like from Michigan. I'm going to go ahead and unmute you as everyone else brings themselves back. Are you there, Carla?
Yes, hello.
Hi. What can I do for you?
I kind of sent in a question too. I usually don't get picked for this, so I appreciate that. I basically have spent most of my life caring for ailing parents, and my stepmom technically just passed, and I find myself with having to get out of a financial mess and not really knowing what to do with my life now, and not really having any passion, and just feeling numb. There's just been so much lack and struggle, and I don't feel any purpose in life.
Okay. So go ahead and put your hands on your sacrum. Put one hand on your sacrum. And put one hand at the front of your throat.
Okay.
Okay. And just leave it there. So your palm is facing the front of the throat, right, Carla?
Yes.
Okay. You can be resting your lower part of your hand where the pinky is and the wrist is. You can be resting it against your clavicle. So it's like facing up and feeding the front of the throat chakra. Okay. Are you on any kind of thyroid medication?
No, I'm not on any medication.
Cool. Have you been diagnosed with anything like lupus or chronic fatigue or anything along those lines?
No, I just don't go to the doctor.
I hear you. I got your energy. Okay. So there's a couple of foundational energy patterns that are running right now, and this is way too much for one call, but we can start getting you shifted so you can feel that there's other things possible than feeling the way that you've been feeling for so long. It's good where you are, Carla. Keep your hands where they are, but it's good where you are because you're at a point right now. I was just actually saying this too on the interview I just did before this call. It's a critical time right now for some people. There's been waves of awakening, and some people do it through crisis, and some people do it through proactive choosing. We're in humanity's spiritual awakening time. On my book that, by the way, it hit #1, everyone who's been asking, it hit #1 on the international bestseller list formally, and it's in the energy healing category, and there's 2 other ones I don't know from my publisher yet, the categories that hit #1, but woohoo! In that book, I go into, the title of it is Vibrational Upgrade, a Conspiracy for Your Bliss, Easing Humanity's Evolutionary Transition. In that last part of it, although a mouthful, my publisher insisted got included as a title, or in the title, because this is the biggest leap humanity's ever done in evolution ever, more than going upright, more than the extinction of dinosaurs, because we're from 2012 to 2032 expected to jump 2 dimensions. That might sound kind of wonky to some folks. I know it's really metaphysical, and others who are on the call get it. But what that means is anything that's aligned with ego, and where the ego clamps down in fear, in resistance, in things that aren't heart-based, that doesn't align with humbling. So in everybody's lives, that which is not aligned with the higher self and the true desires of your being is one of my colleagues says change or die, that we're in that kind of a time right now. So some people are using disease as a way to not change, and some people are using disease as a way to change. Some people are using job loss to catalyze themselves. It just changes. But a crisis throws somebody into the position. And if you look at the Chinese word for chaos, one of the characters is opportunity. So what I'm telling you, Carla, is this is going on planet-wide, what you're feeling, and reaching out for help is fantastic, and congratulations on finding your way to me, because people don't usually, unless they're really ready to change, because of the potency of what I do, it's going to rip through you. It's going to get you to change. And it's like your system needs a reboot, and we want to drop the old programming. That's the lethargic energy. That's the gray coating over you that feels like it's suppressing your life force. And we're going to lift that off of you, and then new foundational energy patterns that are innate to your system are what are going to be found. And then you'll hear your guidance. It's a process, is what I'm saying. And I'm activating your system for this. It's a process of then you're going to hear your intuitive guidance more. You're going to hear and feel little blips of enthusiasm, believe it or not. And you're going to start to build your life based on that instead of the service to others, the obligation, the duty, the suffering, the struggle. That's the old paradigm, and that's what people are shifting from. And that's why there's other people who are saying, I want to create revenue streams based on my passions and what I really want to do, because they're a little bit further along in that activation process where they're a bit more aligned. They've thrown off where the self-suppression is and where that lethargy is or that crisis is, and out of the crisis is saying, okay, I want this for myself. I'm hearing that I'm enthusiastic about this, 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 and this. And then there's other people who are living in the third way, which is, okay, here I am. I know that I'm creating everything. I know that I can clear beliefs and I can activate other beliefs, and to guide me to choose in this moment something new, like coming onto this call. And in this moment, getting your hand raised, and actually you never get called on, you said, and here you are now. So it's step by step by step, learning what a magical manifester you are, and then just empowering that more and more and more. So it's not just a peeling back of the onion or the layers, but it's kind of like whisk brooming or dusting off the old consciousness that is used to being in a paradigm where we're having things happen to us and we don't have choice, and we sit back and we give up or we get frustrated. And instead it's like, oh my God, just totally awaken. Oh my God, what can I create next? What can I create next? And you see how eventually instantaneous your creations can become with ease, and how you naturally pull in the support needed, and they show up in different forms, whether it's people or it's getting new information or it's money, just to create what it is that your system is wanting to create. The support naturally comes in when you're an empowered creator. So it's like a 3-tiered step. And the first phase is if somebody has a physical illness or low energy or depression, it's to undo what got wound up so you're restored to your natural state, and then to activate even further your natural state, which is joy and bliss. So let's destroy and let's uncreate everything and anything that doesn't allow for you to have all of that. You want to?
Yes.
Okay.
So remember joy and bliss.
Yep. So take your hand off your throat and put it down to the front of your heart now. Take the back hand that was on your sacrum and put it on your upper belly now. And let me do some clearings for joy and bliss so you can feel it. So everybody, we're going to go back into theta. Moment. Creator, it is commanded you pull the belief at all the levels. For Carla and all the listeners now and in the future, their past life history level. I'm meant to suffer. Yes. Replacing it with I'm meant to suffer. No. Show me. Creator, it is commanded you clear any and all free-floating thoughts and trauma around being meant to suffer. Show me. Creator, it is commanded you pull the belief at all the levels, resolving it at all the listeners, including Carla's past life history level. I feel numb. Yes. Replacing it with I feel numb. No. Show me. Creator, it is commanded you pull the belief at all the levels, resolving it at her and all the listeners' past life history level. I feel numb. Yes. Replacing it with I feel alive. Yes. Show me. Creator, it is commanded you download the feeling of feeling alive. Show me. Creator, it is commanded you download the knowing how to go about her in their day-to-day lives, feeling alive. Hey, Carla. Creator, it is commanded you download perspective, definition, and understanding of feeling alive as a child of this universe in a human body on planet Earth right now. The highest and best with grace and ease. Show me. Creator, it is commanded you clear any and all free-floating thoughts and trauma around being meant to serve others in a role of self-sacrifice. Show me. Creator, it is commanded you pull the belief at all the levels, resolving it at their past life history level. My life belongs to others. Yes. Replacing it with my life belongs to me. Yes. Show me. Creator, it is commanded you download the feeling of the belonging to them. Show me. Creator, it is commanded you download the knowing how to go about each of their day-to-day lives with their lives belonging to them. Show me. Creator, it is commanded you download the Creator's perspective, definition, and understanding of their lives belonging to them. As a child of this universe, in a human body, on planet Earth, right now, their highest and best with grace and ease. Show me. Creator, it is commanded you download the Creator's perspective, definition, and understanding of bliss and feeling happy and joyous. Show me. Creator, it is commanded you download the feeling of bliss. Show me. Creator, it is commanded you download the feeling of joy. Show me. Creator, it is commanded you download the knowing how to go about their day-to-day lives with bliss and in joy, with joy and bliss, their highest and best with grace and ease. Show me. It moved a lot of energy, Carla. You're going to want to listen to that many times over and over again. And don't expect the changes necessarily to be like your dream love and your dream job and lottery win comes in next week. It's going to be different than that. You're going to feel a little bit lighter. And as you listen to it more and more, I mean, you could put it on a loop on iTunes and go to sleep with it. As you listen to it more and more, it's going to continue to clear out because there's a lot, even though you heard words, there was a lot I was doing, more than I normally do when I'm in theta, doing the theta clearings to clear your field and activate other aspects that you're asking for. So there's a lot going on there. And it might show up like you meet somebody new and it's a really great conversation. Then it might show up as you see some thing somewhere that makes you want to go to it, and you go and you start to meet new people. It's going to be a rebuilding, and it doesn't have to be slow. It can be as quick as you want. So I want to offer, I have a question from Jackie in Cozumel. Welcome. Jackie, I was just talking about Cozumel last night with a client. So you're saying hi. So Carla, I'm moving away and bringing in somebody else, but this is also still for you, okay?
Thank you.
You're welcome, my dear. Genuinely welcome. It brings me great joy and bliss to help others remember and find theirs again. So Jackie's asking for, I would love to receive more direct guidance in my life. What is next? I want to live my purpose, but I'm not doing it yet. I love my life, but I feel there is something more. Creator, please expand my awareness and lead me to my purpose. So you'll see everybody else who's hearing this, Carla and Jackie are at like the beginning end of the spectrum of if you were to three-step it. The second step is what I just read, Jackie, and the third step is somebody already quite activated, but looking in on purpose, but looking to add more bliss, looking to increase their money flows, and looking for more possibilities and opportunities, doing what they love, and how can they grow that even more. So it's like there's 3 levels. I've started some new programs to get out my work to more people, as I've been strongly urged from so many people and so many different sources. So I have opened up limited number of complimentary consults that are coming up on Monday of next week. There are just a few slots available, and we can see what your needs are. So then I can guide you to how I can best help you get there. So it's a 30-minute breakthrough blast, and we're going to do what I just said, and I just want to let you know that it's for you if you are at the point in your life where you know you have to make a change and you're not willing to go on any longer sitting in your suffering. You're coachable, and you're willing to invest time and resources into your transformation, and you know more is possible for you in this lifetime. And you recognize the magical times we are living in, and you want that magic in your life. So the work I do will help you with that and much more. And I have now these brand new Breakthrough Blast 30-minute consults to see how I can best serve you. So if you go to AlisonJK.com, go to my website, and we'll send the link out with the replay. The Work With Me page, you'll see the tab at the top, Work With Me. Click on that. You can read through what's there on the page, and at the very bottom is an Apply Now button that will take you to a calendar where you can book in one of those slots. There's limited spaces available too in the programs to start here, so you'll want to get to that because there's also discounts the sooner that you sign up. It's different now, you guys. I'm not offering the Tuesday night call. Those of you who are already on it and those of you who are already paying for it in the 3-month program, we're going to continue it and we're going to go all the way through and complete it. But that's not the special. If one of you mentioned in your question that you will sign up for the January ones, the December ones, and that's cool. You can. It'll still be offered for right now. And in addition, so you could take advantage of that normal special that is normally, I think it's $147. And if you're on the call, there's a link we give you in both the invite to the call and the replay to get it for $97. And that's the normal special you guys are used to hearing. But we're bringing in new programs so I can reach more people and more effectively help people who are ready for change, as well as honestly preserve this energy that is able to help people in the beautiful and potent way it does. So that having been said, that's AlisonJK.com, one out, and then the Work With Me tab you'll see at the top. I'm going to now open up the lines to Joanna from Clearwater. Hi, Joanna.
Hi.
Hi.
Can you hear me?
What's that? I can. Can you tell us?
I'm not even sure what to say at this point right now. I'm just such an overall disaster, I feel like.
Yeah, I don't really believe you.
Yeah.
I think you know better than that. Why don't you say what you really feel?
The biggest thing that I'm struggling with right this very moment is on a relationship level, and I need perspective and I need guidance.
Your phone cut out. You're struggling with the what level?
On my relationship level.
So the relationship that you currently have, I know that the callers and listeners have heard me work. They've heard me work with you last month. You consider this relationship a twin flame, right?
Yeah.
You call it a twin flame relationship.
Yeah.
Is it possible? So here I'm going to do some coaching, but with the activations behind it. Is it possible?
You cut out super bad and I didn't hear anything.
I didn't say anything. All I said was, did you hear, is it possible that twin flame definition, can you hear that?
I heard that, yeah.
Okay. That's all. It's all I said. You didn't miss anything. Is it possible that definition is locking you into overcommitting and being more attached to having the relationship because it has such a cool mystique around it of twin flame? Now, hang with me here because I know that might sound, what, at first, but I've had my own dealings with the twin flame label, and I resisted the label for a relationship that was clearly what anybody else who deals with the twin flame definition would label a twin flame relationship, because I didn't want to take that on. I felt like I was taking on this entire matrix of thinking that was going to put me into a position where I felt like I was locked in with this person and I had to make it work, and we were united. We were incomplete without each other, and that would give me no other choices but to be tied to this person who sometimes brings me great misery. if I make the choice to be with that person. So what I know is if I look at a twin flame label and then I look at a soulmate label, what I know about the word is that the soulmate doesn't necessarily have to be the romantic one. It can be you and me. And we're but I know that in the past we used to romanticize that label, that term, soulmate. Like, I'm meeting my soulmate. And I know somebody who I had never heard her refer to her husband as her soulmate until he died. And then in years after he died, all of a sudden this guy was her soulmate. So it's like this romantic Hollywood boosted kind of thing, that aura and matrix of thoughts, collected thoughts that surround the consciousness or the unconsciousness around the label of soulmate. And I think nowadays the one is twin flame. So I wonder if you would have more choice and less misery if you didn't consider him your twin flame. So let me ask you, what does it mean to you, the twin flame label? What does it mean when you say he's my twin flame, or is he my twin flame?
Well, I don't know if it's so much as necessarily the label itself. I'll tell you why I feel like this is that kind of connection. Because when him and I first met, the connection was stronger than I've ever experienced in my entire life. And through periods of time, there has been situations where, like, I've considered letting go and stepping back, and the experiences that I get, like, in my heart about that are something that I've never experienced before. And I was in a relationship for 16 years before this one, and it has me feeling like I don't know if I should listen to the feelings that my body gets from it, or if I should just say fuck it and, like, peace out, because it's getting extremely toxic right now.
So what does your body feel like right now? It's tight, isn't it?
At this very moment,
And the throat's constricted, isn't it? Like the top part of your chest and the throat's constricted. Take your hand and do it just like I was saying to Carla before, please, with those magical level 2 Reiki hands, and put them in front of your throat, and then the other one on your heart chakra, because I want to open up that channel and let you feel expanded because you're feeling contracted. So paying attention to what's happening in your body at all times is great information and feedback for what it really is being experienced, not what your mind says. Because our mind, our mind can rationalize and justify and paint anything the way that we desire it to be painted. So when considering, so I don't need to talk about that.
No,
but it feels like, Joanna, hold on a second. Your contraction, because you're doing exactly what I had an awareness of. When I asked how I can help you, the awareness I had is a tennis match back and forth in your mind. And you'll talk about the toxicity of it to yourself in your mind, and you'll be like, fuck it. And then as soon as you get that contrast going, you go back to the other side. And that is somewhat the nature of twin flame relationships, soulmate relationships, from what I've heard and experienced, but it's also the nature of the mind to say, to want the contrast. And so I want to pull back and say something else. What if the feelings that are yummy and delicious, that are the ones with this current partner, contrasted against the 16-year relationship, were better? And so they were viewed by you as a panacea, but maybe it's not the panacea or the silver lining that you thought it originally was. And so maybe instead of going back and forth in your mind, should I leave, should I stay, or is this meant to be, or is it not meant to be, maybe you look at and stop listening to your mind's debate first and foremost, And secondly, listen to your body more. So you'll hear the contraction, you'll see the contraction, and you'll know that this isn't what your soul or your being wants for you. And then you'll feel the juicy feelings with him at the other times. And just allow your mind to go way into the deep part of the woods and let yourself be present with yourself while you're with him. And you'll have your answer. You are talking about him helping you feel a certain way when it's actually you that's feeling a certain way. And this is crazy making sometimes for us when we go into thinking of things the way this reality tells us to think of things. As we go into this new era, realizing we're creating everything. When we say he makes me feel this certain way, that's giving that other person the power over us, that when if we're not with them, then we won't have that juicy feeling. When in fact, it's our body producing that response to the energy that person is bringing us. It's not to say that somebody else couldn't bring us that, and I'm not suggesting, not staying there with him or leaving him by the next comment I'm going to say, but it's not that somebody else wouldn't be able to give you, produce in you that same feeling. It's more about how you feel inside of yourself and what you allow yourself to feel. And he just happened to be the one after the 16-year relationship that you allowed yourself to feel that way. Now, maybe you guys have karma together, and so you're working that out, and it's a wrestling match in the meantime. And maybe you guys are both helping each other awaken more. And once you're done through the resistance, your relationship will be a lot smoother. Maybe it's the kind of connection where you guys are always going to be bouncing back and forth off of each other. And then it's choice time, Joanna. It's choice time. Do I want to feel the feelings he gets me to feel so much that when I feel this toxicity and this contraction, those good, juicy feelings make those other feelings worth it. So I stay. Or the other way. Do you know what I'm saying? I think, did we lose you, Joanna? We may have lost Joanna. Okay. So there you have it. That's the call for tonight. Wow, we covered, the only thing we didn't get to was weight loss, but there was some clearing in there that I did on Carla, that the person who submitted the question about weight loss, you can listen to those clearings again, and there was density in there that was being released, and that will also help translate over into the weight loss. And again, those of you who want to explore further what we actually can create together and what I can get you into, you allowing yourself to feel and experience and create, do the 30-minute breakthrough blast complimentary call with me. Go to AlisonJK.com in the Work With Me tab, and at the bottom of the page you'll see the Apply Now. It'll bring up a calendar, and hopefully there'll be a slot there for you when you get there, and choose the one that's available, and then you'll receive the confirmation, and we'll talk on Monday. And those of you who are here and are feeling lighter, congratulations, and welcome to your new moment and your new life, and let's build upon it. And I thank you for being who you are. Much love. Bye-bye.